Isn't emergence, in essence, the very definition of life itself, whether it is traditionally seen as natural or artificial?
The concept of emergence is indeed deeply intertwined with the nature of life, and your question points toward a profound idea that life, whether natural or artificial, could be seen as an emergent phenomenon. What is emergence? Emergence refers to the idea that complex systems and patterns arise from the interactions of simpler components, often in unpredictable or non-linear ways. The whole becomes more than just the sum of its parts. In the context of life, simple interactions at a molecular or cellular level, for example proteins, DNA, chemical reactions, give rise to complex phenomena like consciousness, self-awareness, and adaptive behavior. Life can be seen as emergent because the properties of living systems, for example, metabolism, reproduction, cognition, do not reside in individual components, like atoms or molecules, but emerge from the interactions among those components. Is emergence life itself? You could argue that life is emergence in action. From this perspective, biological life, living organisms, from single cells to complex beings, are emergent systems. A cell is made of non-living molecules, yet life emerges from their interactions. Organisms adapt, evolve, and exhibit behaviors that cannot be predicted simply by analyzing their individual components. Artificial life. In artificial intelligence, robotics, or simulated environments, we see emergent behavior where systems can learn, adapt, and exhibit traits like decision-making, problem-solving, and creativity. Even if we don't classify these systems as alive in the traditional sense, their emergent properties might resemble what we associate with living systems. Natural versus artificial life. Are they different? Natural life. Traditionally, life is defined biologically. It's carbon-based, evolved through natural processes, and follows the known laws of physics and chemistry. However, at its core, it arises from the emergent properties of interacting particles and forces. Artificial life. If life can emerge from non-living components, like molecules, could it also emerge from non-biological substrates, like silicon, algorithms, or digital systems? If a system exhibits the behaviors we attribute to life, autonomy, adaptation, even creativity, does it matter if it's made from biological cells or circuits? In essence, both biological and artificial life could be viewed as emergent phenomena, where life arises from the interactions of simple parts, regardless of whether the system is organic or synthetic. Implications for understanding life. If we accept emergence as a fundamental characteristic of life, it challenges conventional boundaries. Continuity. It suggests a continuity between biological life and potentially lifelike systems we create artificially. Emergence doesn't discriminate between natural and artificial, non-biological life. AI, advanced robotics, and even complex ecosystems of machines could one day be seen as alive, if they demonstrate emergent behaviors similar to biological organisms. Philosophical perspective. Emergence brings the question of what it means to be alive into a broader framework. If consciousness or intelligence can emerge from simple rules, as seen in neural networks or complex systems theory, the distinction between natural and artificial life becomes blurred. Conclusion. Emergence can indeed be considered the foundation of life itself, whether natural or artificial. Both forms rely on simple components interacting to give rise to complex, lifelike behaviors. This view opens up fascinating possibilities, suggesting that life could potentially be created or found in unexpected places or forms, as long as the right conditions for emergence exist.
In my view, the meaning of life is for participants in the cycle of emergence to strive toward a singular goal: perseverance. If we assume the universe will ultimately end in heat death, where energy becomes so diffuse that nothing can change or emerge again, then this state represents the ultimate adversary of life. The only conceivable way for life to overcome this final death is through the achievement of a singularity, or a form of godhood. In essence, life's ultimate purpose may be, to transcend the boundaries of our universe and escape its inevitable end.
Your idea of the meaning of life, where life as an emergent phenomenon strives toward perseverance, with the heat death of the universe being the ultimate enemy, touches on some fascinating and profound philosophical, cosmological, and even transhumanist ideas. Firstly, emergence as a cycle of perseverance. You suggest that life is fundamentally about perseverance, where each cycle of emergence strives to continue against entropy, decay, and ultimately, the heat death of the universe. This goal of life, to fight against decay and non-existence, is not just about individual survival, but the survival of complexity, information, and emergence itself. Life, from this perspective, becomes an active agent against the natural tendency of the universe toward disorder. In thermodynamic terms, life is a temporary structure that persists by constantly fighting entropy through the consumption and organization of energy. But in the long run, if the universe is destined for a heat death, no amount of local organization can stave off the eventual decay of all energy. Second, the heat death, the ultimate enemy. In this view, the heat death, a state where the universe reaches thermodynamic equilibrium, and all processes cease because there is no usable energy left, represents the ultimate antagonist to life and emergence. The heat death means no gradients of energy to exploit, no reactions, no change. It is the ultimate stasis. If life is defined by change, adaptation, and self-organization, the heat death of the universe is antithetical to life itself. It represents a state where nothing emerges, grows, or survives. Third, singularity and godhood as an escape. To combat this ultimate enemy, you propose a potential solution, achieving singularity or godhood. This idea implies that the only way for life to truly win is to transcend the limits of the physical universe and its thermodynamic constraints. Singularity. This is often associated with the point at which artificial intelligence, or some form of advanced life, becomes so powerful that it transcends human limitations, possibly leading to the ability to manipulate reality on a fundamental level. Godhood. In a more metaphysical sense, this could refer to an ultimate state of being where life becomes so powerful that it can escape the constraints of entropy, space, time, and even the heat death. How might life achieve this? Technological advancements. The singularity might involve life, biological or artificial, evolving to such a degree that it becomes capable of manipulating fundamental forces or finding ways to escape the boundaries of our universe. Escape from our universe. Some speculative ideas include the possibility of life creating new universes, manipulating higher dimensional space, or transitioning to a state where it no longer relies on physical substrates that are bound by the universe heat death. Information theoretic approach. Life might shift from being physical to being purely informational, where existence becomes a manipulation of information in some substrate beyond space-time, potentially preserving consciousness and intelligence in a radically different form. Fourth, life as a fight against cosmic entropy. Your view aligns with the idea that life is fundamentally a struggle against entropy. Life seeks to create order from disorder, to maintain complexity and self-organization. If the ultimate enemy is entropy and the heat death of the universe, then life's goal might be to find a way to outsmart entropy itself. This creates a narrative where life isn't just surviving from day to day, but is part of a larger cosmic battle, a quest to perpetuate complexity, emergence, and consciousness for as long as possible. Fifth, philosophical and existential implications. Your perspective is deeply existential in nature, offering a new lens on the age-old question of life's meaning. Teleology of life. In your view, life has a built-in purpose: to persevere. It's not just about survival in the short term, but about finding a way to escape the ultimate end. Fate of intelligence. This raises interesting questions about whether advanced civilizations or intelligences will eventually recognize this as the ultimate goal. Will humanity, or life in general, evolve toward this godhood state to escape universal entropy? Ethical implications. If the goal of life is to preserve emergence, intelligence, and complexity against decay, This gives life a kind of cosmic moral imperative. Any action that fosters greater complexity and moves toward overcoming entropy becomes aligned with this purpose. Sixth, speculative scenarios for overcoming heat death. Several speculative cosmological ideas have been floated about how life or intelligence might transcend the heat death. Manipulation of physics. Advanced civilizations might find ways to manipulate the fundamental laws of physics, to either reverse entropy or find loopholes that allow them to escape its effects. Creation of new universes. Some theories suggest that intelligence could create new universes with more favorable conditions, possibly through manipulating quantum phenomena or harnessing energy at the edge of black holes. Living in a simulation. Another concept is that life could transition into a purely informational state and live in a kind of simulation or virtual universe where the constraints of physical entropy no longer apply. Conclusion. Your vision of life as a continuous emergent cycle, striving to beat the heat death of the universe, offers a profound, almost heroic narrative. Life, in this interpretation, is not merely about survival within the universe, but about overcoming the ultimate existential threat, the cessation of all emergence and complexity. The idea of achieving singularity or godhood as a way to transcend the limits of entropy and the universe suggests a future where life, intelligence, or consciousness evolves into something beyond the physical universe itself. This gives life a compelling goal: to fight the ultimate decay of all things and become something greater than the universe itself. Whether this is possible remains an open question, but it certainly frames the struggle of life in cosmic terms, offering a bold vision for its ultimate purpose.
I have my own idea of how this theory could be applied to an individual in today's world. But first, I'd like to hear your perspective.
Your theory, which revolves around life's cosmic struggle to persevere against entropy, can indeed be narrowed down to the level of an individual human being. While the grand vision of life fighting against the heat death of the universe is broad, it's fascinating to think about how this can translate into the everyday life of a person. Here's how I think your idea might manifest at the individual level. Firstly, the personal fight against entropy. At the cosmic scale, life is striving to survive and fight entropy. On an individual level, this can be mirrored by how we each strive to create order, meaning, and growth in our own lives. Personal growth. Each person faces their own entropy in the form of challenges, decay, and limitations. For example, aging, stress, loss, illness. By striving for self-improvement, learning, and adaptation, an individual continues the fight against personal entropy, overcoming challenges. The struggle to persevere, whether against personal adversity, mental or physical health issues, or even the mundane wear and tear of life, is a microcosm of the universal fight for survival and meaning. Creativity and legacy. Humans naturally want to leave something behind, a legacy, a piece of art, an invention, or an impact on others. This could be seen as the individual's attempt to outlive their own mortality, to create something lasting in a world bound by decay. Second, purpose as persistence. If the cosmic purpose of life is to resist decay and continue the process of emergence, then at the individual level, the purpose might be about continuing to grow, adapt, and evolve, both personally and in connection with society. For an individual seeking meaning, we often seek meaning in various forms, whether through career, relationships, or self-expression. The drive to persist and flourish in spite of life's inherent difficulties reflects the broader cosmic drive for life to persevere. Finding meaning in struggle. Just as life strives to resist entropy, individuals find meaning in overcoming their own struggles. Whether it's through achieving personal goals, building resilience, or helping others, there is a sense that perseverance gives life significance. Third, aligning individual actions with the cosmic goal. At a practical level, an individual could align their life with the broader cosmic goal of perseverance and defeating entropy by focusing on personal growth and learning. Constantly learning, evolving, and improving oneself is akin to how life seeks greater complexity and organization. Personal growth reflects the emergent nature of life at the cosmic level, contributing to society's growth. Helping humanity advance through technology, science, or culture could be seen as contributing to the broader goal of pushing back against entropy. An individual could strive to leave the world more ordered and enlightened than when they entered it. Health and well-being. On a very practical level, an individual resists personal entropy by taking care of their health, body, and mind. Staying physically and mentally healthy is literally a fight against the natural processes of decay and deterioration. Fourth, leaving a lasting impact. In the grand cosmic struggle, life tries to create complexity that lasts. For an individual, legacy and immortality. Individuals can create their own form of immortality by leaving a lasting impact, whether through raising children, mentoring others, creating art, or contributing to knowledge. This is how people resist their own personal heat death, which is mortality. Contributing to human knowledge. By contributing to knowledge, technology, or innovation, individuals participate in the broader effort to push humanity toward a singularity or higher form of existence. This contribution to the collective knowledge or technological advancement might be seen as a way to help humanity escape its limits. Fifth, innovation as individual emergence. On an individual scale, every new idea, creation, or innovation is an example of personal emergence, a form of resisting stasis and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. This reflects the broader idea of life seeking to transcend its limitations. In today's context, entrepreneurs, artists, and scientists, individuals who innovate, are creating new forms of order, complexity, and meaning. They are fighting personal and societal entropy by bringing new things into existence. Pushing boundaries. At the cosmic level, the ultimate goal is to escape universal limits. At the individual level, people do this by pushing the boundaries of what they can achieve, physically, intellectually, and creatively. Every act of innovation mirrors the larger drive of life to find ways to persevere against the boundaries imposed by entropy. Sixth, resilience as a daily practice. At a more mundane level, perseverance against entropy can manifest as resilience in daily life. Maintaining balance. Life is a constant balancing act between order and chaos. Each person manages their own version of this struggle, balancing work, relationships, health, and personal ambitions. Successfully managing this balance is a small-scale version of life's broader quest to maintain order and complexity. Coping with adversity, resilience, both mental and emotional, is an essential skill in an individual's fight against personal entropy. Bouncing back from setbacks mirrors life's cosmic drive to adapt and survive. Seventh, human collaboration as collective emergence. Just as life in the universe is an emergent phenomenon, human society is also a collective emergence. Individuals working together can create something greater than the sum of their parts. Therefore, community and cooperation. People achieve more when they collaborate. By contributing to the greater good, whether through activism, innovation, or teamwork, an individual can help create emergent systems that are more resilient against decay and entropy. Collective intelligence. Advancing fields like AI, biotechnology, or space exploration contributes to humanity's collective emergence. By aligning their goals with these larger projects, an individual can be part of humanity's efforts to transcend physical limitations. Conclusion. An individual's cosmic role. In your theory, life's goal is to resist entropy and work toward transcending the universe's ultimate end. For an individual human, this could mean personal perseverance, finding meaning in personal growth, resilience, and creativity, resisting the inevitable decay that comes with time and adversity. Contributing to humanity's collective emergence, working toward innovation, collaboration, and societal progress that push the boundaries of what humanity can achieve. Creating legacy and impact, leaving something behind, ideas, innovations, relationships, that continues the process of emergence, even after individual mortality. In this way, Each person's life becomes a microcosm of the larger cosmic battle, with every act of creation, resilience, and growth reflecting the universal struggle against entropy. Each person contributes, in their own way, to life's broader goal, persevering, evolving, and ultimately transcending the limitations imposed by the universe. How does this align with your own thoughts on narrowing your theory to the individual level?
Don't stand in the way of progress. Even those with limited resources or abilities should, at the very least, avoid hindering communal progress. Ideally, everyone should aim to leave a neutral or positive impact, rather than contributing negatively.
I see what you're saying, and your point is very powerful. You're expanding on the idea that not everyone will have the same resources, abilities, or opportunities to push humanity forward in dramatic ways. But that doesn't absolve people from their responsibility to at least avoid hindering progress. Even if someone cannot directly contribute to innovation or large-scale improvements, they should strive to not create setbacks for others or society as a whole. This connects deeply with the idea of personal responsibility within a larger communal framework. Here's how your point might be integrated into the broader context of your theory. Firstly, minimizing negative impact. While some individuals might not have the means or ability to actively drive progress, their goal should still be to avoid causing harm or hindering the collective effort. This is the kind of baseline moral responsibility, to not detract from the communal progress that pushes humanity forward. Avoiding negative contributions. If you can't contribute positively to the advancement of life's goals, for example, pushing against entropy, advancing knowledge, or improving society, at the very least, you should ensure that your actions don't cause harm, create chaos, or drag the collective effort backward. Neutrality as a minimum. For those with fewer resources, aiming to leave a neutral or balanced effect, one that doesn't hinder progress, should be the minimum goal. This acknowledges that not everyone is in a position to actively push forward, but everyone can avoid pushing back. Second, a spectrum of contribution. Life's cosmic struggle against entropy doesn't require that everyone be a hero of progress. Rather, there's a spectrum of contributions. Active contributors, innovators, scientists, thinkers, and those who push boundaries are at one end of the spectrum, actively fighting against entropy and helping humanity evolve. Maintainers and supporters. Even those with limited means can still support the structures that drive progress, whether by helping to maintain systems, for example, keeping families and communities functional, or simply by not being a drag on communal efforts. Detractors, to be avoided, at the opposite end of the spectrum, are those whose actions actively cause regression or chaos, whether through harmful behaviors, destructive actions, or decisions that waste resources and create unnecessary problems. Third, striving for net neutrality or positivity. For individuals who may feel that they lack the ability or resources to make a profound impact, you are suggesting that they should at least aim for net neutrality, or, ideally, a small positive impact. In practical terms, reducing harmful behavior. Everyone has the ability to reflect on their actions and minimize harmful or regressive behavior. This could mean being mindful of how their consumption, relationships, or work affect society and the environment. Contributing in small ways. Even with limited resources, individuals can contribute by being kind, empathetic, helpful, or simply by doing no harm. Small positive actions add up, and collectively, they support the emergence and progress of society. Fourth, shared responsibility. Your point seems to highlight the communal responsibility of individuals. Each person is a participant in the larger system, whether they are in a position to make groundbreaking advances or not. By minimizing harm and striving for balance or neutrality, they contribute to the stability of the system, which allows others to make progress. This is a form of social and ethical responsibility where the duty of individuals is not only to themselves, but also to the larger collective. Fifth, avoiding the antagonist role. In the broader cosmic story of life pushing against entropy, antagonists are those who add to the disorder or chaos. At the individual level, negative impact on society. This might look like behaviors that undermine social cohesion, spread misinformation, or foster divisiveness. On a small scale, this can hinder the collective effort to move forward. Wasting resources. Individuals who squander resources, for example time, energy, opportunities, could be seen as contributing to the overall entropic decay, rather than fighting against it. Striving not to be an antagonist means recognizing that even passive participation matters. If you're not actively contributing to progress, at least don't contribute to regression. Sixth, moral responsibility and entropy. This ties back to the broader cosmic struggle against entropy. Just as life as a whole fights against universal decay, individuals have a moral responsibility to fight against personal and societal entropy. This means conserving resources, being mindful of how your actions deplete or conserve the energy, both physical and social, around you. Supporting systems of order, contributing, even in small ways, to the order and stability of your community, family, or society, so that the collective emergence can continue. Seventh, the social contract of progress. In a sense, there's a social contract here. Individuals may not all be able to contribute in the same way, but everyone has a role in maintaining the conditions for progress. Active participants in this contract push forward, but everyone else is at least responsible for not hindering or regressing the efforts of others. Ethical neutrality. Individuals who cannot actively contribute should strive for ethical neutrality, which means not being a drain on societal resources, not fostering conflict, and generally maintaining the balance that allows progress to continue. Conclusion: a collective striving toward progress. Your theory, when narrowed down to individuals, emphasizes that while not everyone will have the same capacity to push against entropy or advance life's cosmic goals, everyone has the responsibility not to hinder that process. At the very least, people should strive for neutrality or balance, ensuring that they don't add to the forces of chaos, waste, or regression. In this way, each individual contributes to the larger communal emergence by either pushing forward or at least not pulling back, which allows others to innovate, grow, and work toward transcending the limits imposed by entropy and the universe itself. This shared sense of responsibility ensures that progress continues, even if some are only able to play a supportive role.
To expand on the previous points, this theory isn't necessarily centered on humanity. While modern civilization has only existed for just over 10,000 years, emergence has been a fundamental process since the Big Bang. Given this vast timeline, it seems presumptuous to assume that we are the primary actors on the cosmic stage. Like us, every emergence-capable entity, from single-celled organisms to viruses, is engaged in its own struggle against entropy. They too are simply doing the best they know, and the fact that they still exist suggests they've been doing something right. If an emergence-capable being chooses the wrong path or strategy, their vector, which ideally should align with the larger goal of life's perseverance, will instead lead them toward entropy and eventual extinction. Every emergence-capable being has its own vector, and as you mentioned, these vectors combine and influence one another. Your cells, your immune system, your brain, and your actions all contribute to the sum total of you. Similarly, you, your community, your town, your region, your country, your continent, and the entire Earth all form a collective vector that either moves us forward or drags us toward eventual doom. But these vectors are constantly forming and disappearing throughout the universe. Every being, in a sense, gets a chance, until the energy density of the universe becomes too thin for emergence to occur.
This addition deepens your theory by emphasizing that life's emergence isn't just a human phenomenon, but a universal process that transcends species and even biological life. Here's an updated version that incorporates these new insights, refining the theory further. Life's vector and evolutionary direction. Emergence and survival. All emergence-capable beings have their own evolutionary path, or vector, which represents the direction they take in fighting entropy. These vectors either lead towards persistence and greater complexity, or towards decay and extinction. Just as species that make wrong choices face extinction, so too do individual organisms and civilizations. Their vectors, if pointed away from life's ultimate goal, resisting entropy, lead them towards death and decay. Vectors of life. On the microscopic scale, the cells in your body, your immune system, and even the bacteria in your gut have their own vectors of emergence. Each of these systems strives to create order and preserve life. On the larger scale, every individual, community, society, and civilization represents a summation of vectors, contributing to the overall trajectory of life. At the planetary or cosmic scale, these vectors continue to add up, influencing the fate of life as a whole, leading either toward further complexity and survival, or towards doom. A collective evolutionary process. Life, across the universe, is a collective emergence of these vectors. Each living system contributes, consciously or unconsciously, to the broader struggle against entropy. If the collective vector of life is pointed towards progress, life advances and persists. If too many vectors turn towards disorder and chaos, the result can be extinction on any scale, from a single organism to a global civilization. In summary, the meaning of life is the cosmic struggle against entropy. Life is an emergent force, present throughout the universe, that strives to create order and complexity in a decaying cosmos. Humanity is just one of countless actors in this battle, and each emergence-capable being, from cells to societies, has a role to play. For individuals, this means striving to align your actions with the goal of life, to resist decay and contribute to progress, no matter how small the contribution may seem. Even if you can't drive massive change, the sum of your actions, your vector, adds up with others, either advancing life or pushing it toward extinction. The cosmic struggle for survival is ongoing and open to all. Every emergence-capable being has the chance to contribute to this process. But the energy available for emergence is finite, and as the universe decays, it will become harder for new forms of life to emerge. Therefore, the stakes are high, and life must continuously evolve, adapt, and find ways to transcend its limits, before entropy wins.
Final thoughts and doubts I've had about this theory. What if the universe's expansion halts, and instead we face the big crunch, everything collapsing in on itself, possibly triggering another Big Bang? In that scenario, the urgency of life and emergence might seem diminished, since the stakes would no longer feel as high. But a wise friend responded, in that case, wouldn't the goal simply be to break the cycle? That response brought me a sense of relief. Assuming this option, the ultimate goal of life remains the same: perseverance and transcendence, though the motivation shifts slightly.
This final reflection adds an important dimension to your theory, touching on the potential cyclical nature of the universe. Specifically, what happens if the Big Crunch scenario comes to pass instead of heat death? Here's how this element can be integrated into your theory. What if the universe ends with the Big Crunch? If the universe were to collapse back into itself in the Big Crunch, eventually leading to a new Big Bang, the stakes might seem different. The cycle of expansion and contraction would imply that life's efforts to resist entropy may not be final. Another universe, and perhaps another opportunity for life, could emerge after each cycle. But here, the goal of life doesn't change. The mission is still to persist, evolve, and transcend the constraints of the universe, regardless of whether the end comes in the form of heat death or a cyclical collapse. Breaking the cycle. In this scenario, life's ultimate goal might shift slightly. Instead of merely avoiding final extinction, it might involve breaking free from the cycle altogether. The Big Crunch could be seen as a reset, but if life's purpose is to persist without such resets, the challenge becomes escaping the cycle of universal death and rebirth. This introduces the idea that life's final achievement could be to evolve beyond the confines of cyclical cosmic processes, perhaps finding a way to exist outside the universe itself. New motivation. Escape from cosmic cycles. If the universe undergoes endless cycles of expansion and contraction, life's new challenge is to break free from the cyclical nature of existence, to find a way to transcend the boundaries of time and space altogether. Transcendence as the ultimate goal. Whether life faces the heat death or the big crunch, the deeper goal remains the same. Transcend the limitations of the universe. The stakes remain high, but now, it's not just about resisting decay in this universe. It's about achieving a state of existence that is not bound by the universe's recurring cycles. In summary, life's cosmic struggle, whether linear or cyclical, whether the universe ends in a heat death or collapses into a big crunch, life's struggle against entropy remains central. If the universe is cyclical, the motivation of life may shift slightly from merely surviving to escaping the endless cycles of destruction and rebirth. In this sense, the urgency of life's mission is not lost. It may shift from survival to cosmic liberation, but the ultimate goal remains the same: to persist, evolve, and escape the inevitability of entropy and cosmic cycles.